All right, and we're back. Just a little bit later into the week. How's everybody doing?
Very good. Very good.
So, who wants to give a little bit of a summation before we roll right into this little hoot nanny?
I did like the last two, so someone else do it.
Hey, I don't.
Yeah, we both helped, but
I say it's the bald Sims with the facial hair.
all right.
I mean, basically, we have a boss fight. We left Jeb's dad and some of the former possessed residents in Jeb's apartment. They're holed up, and basically we've gone up to the top of the apartment. We're about to hopefully close out this episode.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We barricaded the doors and whatnot.
We shall see, I suppose. Before we go in, Garrett, you will know you were exactly right on the Discord. I have meticulously been setting the chair pictures up. So
the world is right.
I'm not going to lie. When I finally scoot out of here, I was telling Sarah this. How I might try and work something out with my aunt, see if I can take these chair pictures.
A part of your storytelling identity, I feel like. Yeah, you really have to get those, man.
It's like most like professional GMs on like YouTube and stuff. They have like either like a really nice set, or they have like a whole background full of books. Not me, just pictures of chairs.
Or they have editing.
Yeah, they also have editing. Or an editing team.
Yeah.
Oh, again, one last thing before we roll in. A little irk of me that I was reading on Twitter. Somebody was like little channels like this that aren't making like any kind of money. We're just doing it for shits and giggles and putting it online. We should really stop because we're stealing the audience of the professional Dungeons and Dragons players.
Excuse me?
Well,
oh God, you're right. I'm sorry. That's just really disrespectful.
I guess fuck it. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
So the irony of that is the person who's sending that tweet is obviously a contributor to that audience loss, because they're obviously watching you and not these big name D&D players. So glass houses, bitch.
I mean, I've made a killing off of Bastet's t-shirt sales. That's what y'all have been doing. But
that's the thing. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Critical Role. I don't like hate them or anything. It's just not my style.
Hey, Matthew Mercer, I am so sorry that we have taken your livelihood. I know times are tough, but I believe in you, brother.
You really need.
I played with a Critical Role fan that really kind of soured me against them because they were always like, every time we did something, it's like, oh, well, if it was Critical Role, we would have a team name. If it was that, we would do this. And it was just like, shut the fuck up. We're not Critical Role.
I really
watch
feel,
Critical Role then.
I really feel like a lot of those comments are literally from people that have never played a D&D game. Because it's some of those things are within the spatial reasoning. I'm like, that's kind of Critical Role's thing, and that's cool. That's not a standard.
And also, here's the big thing. Critical Role just started off with them it was just shits and giggles. It was just them having fun, and then people were like, "Hey, these professional improv actors are actually really fun to watch." And good on them. I'm not crapping on them, but it's just like to say that well, these professional imagination users. You're detracting from their income. It's like, oh, bite me.
Yeah. I guess they have a problem with like High School Musicals too, right?
they're stealing from Broadway, man.
No community theater ever.
God.
Those are T-shirts with just Bastet on them. I have and one. Those are the only sizes I have left.
Garrett, what was the actual play that you listened to that they got a comic out?
Talking about Adventure Zone?
Yeah, Adventure Zone.
Which I actually have. The second book I haven't started yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They're a little more loosey-goosey, and they're professional podcasters, but they're also just silly boys, and they're playing with their dad. So they're the McElroys are good boys.
I listened to Dungeons and Daddies, which is a good one.
Ooh.
Not a BDSM podcast. Literally, that's
no
a
judgment,
subtitle.
Friend.
It's literally called Dungeons and Daddies, and then like subtitles, not a BDSM podcast.
Sure, that's what a BDSM podcast was.
But they did have one BDSM podcast, like one episode. So they're like sometimes a BDSM podcast. But it's very, very loose, like rules. Like they're really just playing a story, not really playing D&D. Like, they're like 20 episodes in. They're like, oh, I have that spell. It's like, yeah, you had that since level 1. It's like, oh, I never used it.
Yeah, honestly, the one I listen to the most is Thrilling Intent, and it's the same thing. Like they very loosely use Pathfinder, and like it is mostly just them just having fun and pretending and like barely even using the rules.
Yeah, see, that's what I love about Dungeon Daddies. Like they don't get bogged down in combat or anything. It's just them just being it's dads in the Forgotten Realm universe is what it is, and they've lost their sons. So you have like the stay-at-home dad that's like a stay-at-home coach dad, Daryl Wilson. You have a crunchy granola dad. You have a distant stepfather dad, and you have like a rocker dad, and they're just dicking around in Forgotten Universe.
I'm going to be honest. I want the older gay man daddies in the Forgotten Realms.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Just a bunch of dwarves.
Daddies. Yes,
just a bunch of dwarves.
Oh my god, bear daddy.
Yes, he's a druid.
Daddy.
He literally turns into a
twink
bear.
daddy. Yeah. All the daddies.
All right, so now that we're done shilling for all these other things that are way bigger than us, you were describing what happened last time, Tyler.
Yeah,
I think he described it.
Yeah, boss.
Well, he said where we left off anyway. We had
had a little barricade. Working backwards, had a little barricade that we had made in my apartment with my father and Ben the derp, and a bunch of the haunted try to break in, and my dad shot one of them. I
shot somebody too.
Yeah, I shot someone.
From Brandon.
Yeah, so all the people that were
him.
Yeah,
that's right.
Everybody. That's right. Yeah, we dispossessed everyone and mortally wounded one or two people.
Gunshot wound. So.
Excuse me. Yeah, there are some people bleeding in my apartment currently, but they are stabilized.
Did you say that I made sure that I told Mr. O'Neill to make sure that Ben doesn't get guns, please?
Yeah, can we just go ahead and retcon that?
It's in everyone's best interest.
Well, I'd like to think that old Frank, he at least kind of knows ahead of time. You know, like this guy's not quite stable. Maybe we don't need to give him a fork.
Yeah, a fork. Yeah. I guess
fork. No. You pointy.
I guess most importantly, we got the pocket watch. That was the big thing from last episode. We got the pocket watch, and now we're heading up to the roof. So.
Okay, you guys are currently in the stairwell. It's quiet. One of those eerie silences that seems to sweep always right before something bad happens that you've noticed. There's not any noise at all coming from the floors below. That being said, you get the sense that there's still plenty of people who are possessed. Maybe they're preoccupied with something else. Maybe they kind of know what's going down. Who's to say, honestly?
Does the stairwell have any weird temperature fluctuations going on, or?
It is hot, pretty hot, like beads of sweat, uncomfortable, not like debilitatingly hot, but it's pretty. You're kind of like doing that kind of little thing, get a little bit of airflow into your clothes.
We're all moist.
Yeah, properly moist. Well, it's that being said. Well, that being said, in Georgia is really freaking humid, so very moist. But this is a dry heat, from flames.
That's right.
Peter, how you doing over there, buddy?
Peter would like to keep an eye out for the deer from a couple episodes back that was looking at my salt lick into the stairwell. I'm just keeping an eye out for that deer.
Okay.
You see it. You glance over and you see it from the floor below, and it's actually walking on two hooves, with the salt block underneath it, and it sees you. It looks up and it runs.
That's a side story for a paper.
Yeah. For our Patreon viewers,
No, Peter. I mean, Peter's had the shit beat out of him. The most important thing, the world's safe to him, but like, I mean, Peter's shaky. He ain't talking. He's in the back. He doesn't want to be here.
None of us really super want to be here, though. Yeah. So, just to be clear.
You just had the blanket of "it's all a dream," though, that has now been, shredded. So, I guess.
You know what? I'm actually. You know what? We're gonna have a little bit of fun with that. Peter, if you could make
Who's got a plane flying over?
Can Peter be afraid of the World War I biplane?
Erwin Rommel is attacking Chase.
that was on me. I'm willing to bet that's on Sarah's end.
No, it wasn't me.
Who was that on? Was that you, Garrett?
No.
Oh, well. Well, if anybody just suddenly disappears, I'm sorry you just got carpet bombed. Crud. Oh, yeah. Okay, Peter. Let's make an integrity roll, because you've been through a lot. I would say you realizing that all this insanity is actually legitimately happening. I'd say that's worth an integrity roll before you get up there. Right. What's your integrity currently at?
7.
Okay. Let's see. That's +1. Let's see if we. I'm going to. Oh, so let me do a little bit of math right here. Let's see. I'm going to say just roll Yeah, just roll 2 dice.
Boy, howdy, that was a lot of umming and ahhing.
Well, you see, here's the problem with the system. You have like a base number, but you got like a ton of modifiers, and there's like a bunch of different little things that stack up. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna say just 2 dice. Yeah, roll 2 dice.
Yeah, no successes.
Okay, so what happens? You're going to take a -1 to your integrity, so it's now at a 6. You're also going to take the shaken condition, in which case you are extensively frightened. I like to imagine, you've kind of composed yourself a little bit, but like, this is flying in the face of pretty much everything you've been going through for the past couple hours, pretty much. So anytime your character is taking an action where that fear may hinder them, you may opt to fail the roll. So, yeah, before you make the roll, you can just be like, you know what, I'm going to fail that, and you get a beat.
Zoinks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jinkies.
Damn. Peter, you all right? You're kind of looking just a little worse for the wear. I mean, besides your face.
Yeah, I feel like God asked me to do something I didn't roll well enough, so I don't feel that great anymore.
Yeah, God's a funny fella. Gotta love him. All right, y'all. Well, I think we should go and see our wizard friend. I think that's the move to make. Go tell him we got the watch, and then go up there to the roof afterwards. Okay. But I think we should stop by the wizards.
Okay. As you're climbing, hotter, drier, but you're back up on the 4th floor at the entryway. You go in. His body's still laying there, and his spectral form is still just kind of just floating there. And
I immediately flip him off.
Yes. Does that mean you get to mark a beat now because you did your aspiration?
I want to hear what the game master said.
Yeah. Sullivan says, does something trouble you, sir?
I immediately flip him off with both.
Well, you only get the 1 beat, unfortunately.
I would think it's pretty obvious at this point, Sullivan. There's a few things that are troubling him, wouldn't you say?
Well, judging by the shiner on his face, I'd say that he's had a bit of a rude awakening.
I'm not saying anything. So. Both my fingers are just up.
Yeah, he's at a spot, if you know what I mean. He's in a spot.
So did you retrieve the pocket watch?
That is with silver lining. We do have it.
This entire ordeal is unfortunate, but that's good. Unfortunately, probably the hardest thing lies ahead.
Really?
Well, I mean, you are going to be going up against the creature that has caused this.
Oh, I thought we were just getting this to. So you're telling us we actually have to fight your ex-boyfriend?
Oh, you don't think that he's going to let you guys off that easily? He's the one up on the roof at the moment. He's the one causing this storm, for lack of a better term.
So can you give us any tips about how to fight him?
Do you have any dirt on him that would make him like emotionally shudder? That'd maybe give him an advantage. Like maybe he, I don't know, something that only a boyfriend would know. Something we could throw out there.
Well, if you can kiss him behind his ear, that'll temporarily. No, what do you?
Nothing hurtful or.
Honestly, I've told you pretty much everything you need to know. The pocket watch is the anchor. It needs destroyed. He's not what he once was. He used to not be like this, and it's entirely my fault. I was too busy living comfortably. And the creature that was after him got to him.
Would you say you're a shitty wizard?
As I've said, I never claimed to be a good wizard, just a wizard.
You said this watch has to be struck by lightning for it to be destroyed?
It's the only thing I can think of in this. I mean, in this environment.
Well, all due respect, I mean, you're talking about a moment of just spontaneity and chaos. Like, that could happen in 30 seconds of us getting on the roof or not happen at all. Like, what are we supposed to do in that time?
Fend him off. That's the best thing I can say. He will try to get to you. And to this area's benefit, it is a closed-in area. It's not necessarily like an entire countryside that's being hit. It's pretty much just this area. And your best chance is to get it on the lightning rod.
Well, I got one for you, Sullivan. Do our little fetishes, will they work on him? Will they have any effect on him like they did with the folks downstairs?
It's better than nothing, but herein lies the problem with ghosts and spirits, for that matter. They cannot be destroyed unless you destroy them in the underworld with ghosts. The best you can do is banish him temporarily.
So the fetish would maybe give him at least pause, potentially. The
functionality
relic.
the same, just touching him with it. Well, I mean, he's incorporeal, maybe, or
it would be a clash of wills in the case with him. The thing is, if you were to banish him that way, he would eventually find a way to return.
I mean, we just need to hold him off long enough to get this fucking watch struck. So, however long it takes.
Well, therein lies the other problem. You can either tie the watch to the lightning rod. Yeah, either you can tie it to the lightning rod, and if it gets struck, it is completely destroyed, and he goes onward into whatever awaits him in the afterlife. Or you banish him, and all of this will certainly lift back up, but who's to say when he'll return?
Obviously not you.
Do you have any duct tape or string or something to put this thing on the lightning rod here?
Joe just pulls out a roll of duct tape that he always carries with him. Don't worry, Beryl. I always carry a small roll.
Yeah,
great, perfect.
Well, that works too. But I actually do have duct tape. I mean, I am a man of the modern age, after all.
Oh, bravo.
All right, do you have any last regards, anything to tell us, or any last little goodies to give us, maybe?
Other than words of encouragement.
Okay. All right. Well, it's appreciated.
Just say words of encouragement.
Terrible.
He's like, I've told you pretty much everything that I could tell you.
All right. Well, we gotta go grab the bull by its horns and take care of business. Thank you, Sullivan. Despite not all of our party loving you, you've been of some help. So
Peter walks out while still holding the finger over his head.
He's gonna get a cramp, dude. Jesus.
He leans down and says he got punched by one of the possessed, didn't he?
Hard.
Oh, okay.
Real hard.
Well, I wish you all good luck. For all of our sakes.
Thank you, Sullivan.
I'm as much a prisoner as the rest of you at the moment.
Well, hopefully we'll free you. All right.
All right, guys. Let's do it. Let's finish this.
Okay. As you guys leave the penthouse, you take up through the stairs. Heat is building. The rain is pouring. You do hear rolls of thunder as you get up there, and you throw open the roof entrance, and just everything is it's coated in just crimson.
Metal.
Yes.
Metals.
Very
That's
metal.
awesome.
It is exactly as it looked at. I mean, through the windows. Rain is constantly falling, but it is blood.
A Guar concert.
Pretty much like a Guar concert. Blood mixed with little bits of bone as hail. The sky is black, though everything is weirdly illuminated.
Is there any wind at all, or is this just there completely still?
There is it's not necessarily blowing from any one direction. It's whipping about. It's you kind of find that keeping your balance is a little difficult, but it's not impossible.
I mean, the roof is covered in a liquid, so yeah, I would imagine it's
a thick liquid.
Yeah,
a thick viscous liquid.
Yeah.
I mean, do we faintly hear Slayer in the distance?
Yes. As lightning peels across the sky, a wicked guitar solo pierces your ears. Now,
where is the lightning rod in relation to our entering the roof?
Yeah, can you give us a layout?
You guys enter it, and there's it's pretty much like right across the way.
Okay.
That being said, in between you and the lightning rod is a floating man who has his skin is just blackened and charred through skin you look like you could just crisp off, just tight across bones. He has just unblinking eyes, and he is just filled with rage.
Okay,
cool.
In this moment of seeing all the blood, Jeb just kind of freezes for a minute, and this is where I'm going to use my spooked condition as blood is just pouring down on his face, and he sees the charred black man. He's just going to kind of freeze and just not move, not say anything, and just kind of stop.
So this is the most fucked up shit you've seen all night.
Yeah, this takes the cake.
He walked up, he saw the blood, he saw the man, but then as soon as the taste of iron entered his mouth from the blood, raining down, that's what really just broke him. The smell of rich metallic in the air and the taste in his mouth is what sent him over the edge. And he just froze, not saying anything. He's got good composure, so he's not freaking out, but he's just stopped.
Inwardly freaking out, not outwardly.
The man, he's looking up out into the darkened and blood-streaked heavens, and he looks down at just the group and no one in particular, and he says, "Do you know the worst part about burning to death?"
No, but I'm guessing you're going to tell us.
He said, "It never stops hurting. Long after your nerves burn away, it continues to hurt."
I'm sorry.
And the worst part is, it's not even the fire that kills you, it's the smoke. And I've been going through that for almost 200 years now.
You sure you don't want to just like move on? Maybe go to a place where you don't hurt forever.
Not as long as I can make others suffer the way I have.
Why do you feel the need to make people in this building suffer?
Because I spent years suffering. A thing was chasing me. It chased me all across the country, and everyone thought I was crazy. And I thought I made a friend, and it just blinded me. It blinded me long enough for it to get in and burn me alive and everything I've ever loved.
So you've suffered and you've faced disappointment in your life. Congratulations, you're once part of the human race.
It's like I don't necessarily like your tone of voice. Real quick, Jacob, what's your integrity?
7.
Okay. Honestly, what's everybody's integrity? All at once. Go.
6.
7.
6.
7.
Okay. He looks over at Jacob. I mean, not Jacob, but Jeb, and sees you frightened. You're clearly locked up, and he says to Jacob first. He's like, "I don't like your tone of voice, and I think you need to shut him up for me." Jeb, I'm going to need you to make a little roll. Ooh, geez. Hold on a second. 1, 2, plus. I need you to roll. Shit. Hold on a second. Something and something. Can you roll that for me?
You got it.
I need you to roll
all critical successes. All of them.
Perfect.
I need you to roll resolve and composure.
Those are my good skills. All right. And that's 4 and 6. Okay.
And remember, if you roll a 10, it explodes.
And you get to do it again, right?
Yes.
Oh, damn. All right. None of those worked, so I got one more chance.
Come on, Jeb.
Do it.
All failures.
Hooray!
All failures. Not even one success.
Well, all he got was one success. But that's all he needs. Suddenly the man disappears. Just lightning cracks across the sky, and he's suddenly gone. And Jeb, you feel just burning agony coursing through your body. You don't actually take any damage, but it is like it's just all you can feel, and you feel it deep down into your eyes and into your soul. And you still got that snub nose, right?
Yeah, 5 rounds in it still.
Okay, what's your dexterity and your firearms?
Dexterity is 3, and firearms is where is it? 2. 3
okay.
And 2.
Okay. Jacob, I'm going to say you're close enough. What's your defense?
Just 3.
Okay. You know what? He's going to spend his willpower, not your willpower, the ghost's willpower, because he really wants to make you suffer. And Jeb, you feel your hand lift and point your weapon at Jacob.
Jacob, it burns. Jacob, it burns.
Jacob, you take 2 lethal damage as the bullet leaves the chamber and rips right through your shoulder blade.
Oh boy! So that's 2x boxes, or?
Yes, 2x boxes. If you have any bashing damage left over, those get pushed further along in the track. Okay. So let's say you have 2 bashing damage. Now you have 2 lethal and 2 bashing. Okay. What's your health?
The circled is 7. So now I've just got straight up just 2 lethal damage.
Okay, cool.
So.
Okay, I guess this is as good a time as any to say that combat has begun.
Yes.
Oh,
I've been shot.
Initiative then?
Yes,
I've
go
shot
ahead.
I can't get out.
Go ahead and roll initiative, everybody. Including you, Jeb. I'm going to do some fun stuff with you.
What is that? Oh, it's a 10.
7 for me.
Okay, 7. Remember to add your initiative modifier as well.
Oh, let's see. That's be an 8.
I got an 8 too.
Okay, you two roll off, and whoever has the highest will be going first. And how about you, Peter?
Do you use the
13.
modifier to roll? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Jeb and Jacob, you two roll off. Just whoever has the highest.
All right, 10 with my modifier.
Okay.
9 with my modifier.
Oh no, I wanted you to beat me.
Once again, Jacob taking it, taking the rear. So it's going to be Josiah, followed by Peter, followed by Jeb, followed by Jacob. I was wrong about that, Jacob. And followed by Beryl. Okay, so once again, Josiah decides he's going to take another shot at you. Again, you're close enough to, like, if you want to, like, throw all of your defense into it, you can. If you want to, like, if you can do anything close quarters combat-y.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, can I try to disarm him?
Sure. Is that something you can do with CQC?
No, because the first dot basically is like an escape move, and then the second dot is more of an offensive.
Okay, well, you could try to grapple him, but you'll have to wait until it's your turn. Also, Jeb, how many shots did you have left over in your 38?
I had 5 before you shot Jacob. So if you use, I don't know how many shots you used. I think just the 1. So I had 5.
Okay, so you're down to 4 rounds.
Yeah, and I had no spares.
Okay, the ghost is going to try another shot at Mr. Jacob, and misses this time. Bullet whizzes past your head, and he's cackling the whole time. Peter, you're up.
I want to rub my mummy hand on Jeb.
Okay, that would be a strength and melee. Jeb, what is your? You know what? Yeah, Jeb, what's your defense?
It is 2.
Okay, so whatever, it's that -2, Peter.
I mean, I see strength, but I don't see melee. Do you mean maybe
brawl? Yeah,
okay.
Melee is the older system.
Yeah. Well, like last time with Beryl, I have 2 in strength and 0 in brawl, so I just roll 1 dice.
Yes.
Or sentence power.
This would be the time to spend it. Honestly, since
I rolled a 10, so I'm going to roll again.
Okay.
And I rolled a 5, so 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, you immediately just extend the mummy hand out, and whereas you thought, he would maybe like dodge or something, he just Jed just opens his hands wider and just smiles, and it makes contact, and he says, "You realize you're touching this body and not me, right?"
With my
Make me flip me off. Oh my god.
At which point, you hear a loud moan echo through the skies, and you see 2 spirits come out of the ground, just kind of out of the muck, and stand up and say almost identical, screaming agony. They are kind of disoriented, though. They will not come in until the next round. Jeb, pretty much what you can do is if you want to try and like push him out, essentially, it's going to be a clash of wills. Mm-hmm. In which case, you're going to need to roll your resolve and your composure. You can use willpower, but it's going to be a contested roll against something of his, which it's no slouch. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely will because my composure is pretty fucking good. So I'll do that. I'm going to try to push him out and then burn 1 willpower.
Okay.
So, all right. So that's 4 die from composure, 2 from resolve, and then 3 extra from willpower, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. 6, that's 9 total. So that's 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 4. That's 4 successes.
Okay.
I got 1 critical, so critical success.
You managed to push through the pain in your brain for basically just a little bit longer through the rest of this little combat encounter. You did glean something though. Pretty much at this point, he can only stay in your body for a certain amount of time, but you don't know what kind of damage he could do in that amount of time. But you do know that if everybody were to say knock you out, he could no longer reside in your body. You can relay that to everybody.
Yeah. Through gritted teeth, even though I'm still in pain. I try to say that, be like, just hit me, Peter, hit me, so hit me as hard as you can. Just trust me, just right in the mouth, just as hard as you. And then I stop. I can't get any more words out.
Jacob, it's your turn.
I'm gonna try to just do 1 swift hard blow into the side of his jaw. Just try to knock him out as effectively as I can.
Okay, and Jacob, how many boxes do you have left that aren't filled?
In my health?
No, Jeb. Sorry.
Oh, so in my health?
Yes.
Oh, they're all empty, and I have
8.
Yeah, I have 8.
All right.
That's not anymore.
Okay, and what's your defense again? I'm sorry.
2.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. And yeah, since he did. That being said, since he applied his defenses, since I applied my defenses against the mummy hand. He's only going to subtract 1 from whatever you throw his way, Jacob.
Can I use a willpower point just to be absolutely sure that the blow connects and it knocks out?
Absolutely, that is what willpower is made for.
And I'm going to use 1 willpower point then to do that.
Okay, you can use a willpower point a turn, basically.
Okay, so I've got 3 left after this then.
And if we completely expend all our willpower, there's no detriment, right?
There's no detriment, but you suddenly don't have those reserves.
Okay.
We just start sitting there eating ice cream and Fritos.
Yeah.
Lost all control.
About a month later, you realize you gained about 5 pounds, and that only makes you sadder.
It makes you eat more.
Endless circle.
I had a cute shirt I was going to wear to the store. Not today.
I'm too fat. Okay, so anyway. Oh, I've lived that life. Oh, anyways, go on.
All right, so with using now basically firing up a willpower point, what do I need to do in terms of a roll? Or is it an automatic success?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you still got to roll for it, but if you're wanting to deck them, you're going to roll strength and brawl. And
so that would be
3 to that.
Okay, so that's going to be 3 dice. Let's see. Okay, so I got a 1, a 7, and a 5.
As well as the extra 3 for your willpower.
So you said add 3 dice. 3 dice.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the good thing about willpower is you get to add 3, or you can add I think
so
plus 3 to your defense.
2 successes.
Okay, the blow, you rear back and you connect, but he's slick with blood, and it's just like you catch him, but it just kind of rolls off. But it's enough to go ahead and knock off 2 ticks of bashing on his health track. And next, Beryl.
Harder.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and you have in your hand the pocket watch, if I recall.
I do. Okay, so good reminder, because otherwise I was just gonna try to pile on here. Okay, I'm gonna make a break for it and dash and try to go.
Okay.
And get it onto the lightning rod.
Okay. Hold on a second. Is he aware of what's going on with you? Let's find out. Roll dexterity and stealth while you go. What's up, Garrett?
I mean, would he really be, since we didn't kick the door in and like Beryl hold up and be like, "I got the watch."
Well,
all right, guys.
Your demise.
Well, the thing is, he has this. His thing is, is he noticing somebody breaking away and doing anything weird? That's his thing.
I'm gonna spend. Oh, do I want to spend my last willpower to?
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Just sort of make or break. So. Really?
Oh no!
No successes.
Would you like to take a botch?
I mean, I done fucked up. This is already too fucked up.
Okay, yeah, he you make a bolt for it, but he sees you, and he doesn't see necessarily what you have, but he immediately says, "Stop her." And the other 2 beings get in your way, and you are impeded at the moment. So they're standing in your way. Back up at the top, Josiah, he's not done with you, Beryl. He looks at you, and he feels that, yeah, you're not scared enough. You're being too bold. And suddenly your brain starts to fill with just horrible visions. A black shadowy creature creeping into the corners, whispering into a servant girl's ears, and just fire everywhere. And I'm going to need you to roll composure and resolve.
Okay.
I want to know what this thing was that he met that he thought it was his friend, because that doesn't sound like it was his, boyfriend. It sounds like a thing. Am I the only one that caught that, or did I misinterpret that? Because it
sounds like a sort of a spurned lover thing to me, but I don't know.
I thought it sounded like a creature. Like if he found a thing.
Something had been chasing him across the countryside. No one believed him.
Right. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. There's that. Whatever that is.
I failed.
It's the deer. It's a Salt Lake deer.
It's the Salt Lake deer.
It's the Salt Lake deer's a skinwalker.
God, hope not.
The visions are too much.
Oh no!
You immediately seize up. You start crying. You can't help it. It's just utter terror, and you immediately seize up, and you can't go any further. The creatures in front of you, they seemed like just the normal shapes of humans earlier. They now seem 10 feet tall each, looming over you. And you find yourself just cowering, essentially.
All right. See you never. Bye, guys.
Peter, you're up, buddy.
You know, Peter would freak out at this point because nothing's exactly going right. But a cat flashes in his mind. And a cat that looks very stern, looking at him like, you can't stop now, you old man. You got to keep going. Do it for me.
You got feline inspiration?
Yes. It gives me nothing, but it inspires me. So Peter, in one fell swoop, removes the mummy hand and begins running towards Beryl. Mummy hand in one hand,
towards
one
Beryl.
grabber with his snot on it, charging the demons.
What's your intent? Are you trying to knock them down? Or are you trying to basically pick up the baton and keep running with the pocket watch? What's your intent?
Yeah, I'll try to get the pocket watch and keep running.
Okay, roll dexterity and we'll say athletics. And because you moved me so much, you get a +1 for kitty inspiration.
Oh,
Hey.
there we go.
I'm also going to spend a willpower to make sure I try to do this right.
Okay.
So let me just mark that. Now let's see how bad I screw this up. That's 1, 2, 3 successes plus 1 critical success. Now 4 successes all in all.
Yeah.
You manage to, you're running, also terrified. Just the fact that it's real doesn't change the fact that this is, it's only made it worse because you realize just how much danger you're in. But yeah, you run up to Beryl. She's down on the ground, but her hands are like she's tightened down. Holding them almost like she would normally hold like the rosary beads. But you reach down, you manage to just yank it out of her hands, and you manage to essentially push through the ghostly apparitions. And now we're at Jeb's turn.
So I would like to look around at the most sturdy object available and just rush at it as hard as I can, head first, trying to knock myself out. Realizing that like no one is doing shit. I just want to like run as hard as I can into a pole, wall, AC unit.
Hi, I'm Jeb. Welcome to Jackass.
Oh,
absolutely.
Johnny Knoxville, please.
Yeah.
This is going to be another wits and resolve roll. That being said, self-harm is not something most people normally do, even in the most dire of circumstances. So it's going to be at a -1 modifier.
All right. So we said wits and resolve or composure and resolve.
Composure. Composure and resolve.
Okay, so
I don't know, Chase. I'm not unconvinced that Jeb wouldn't be the kind of guy after 5 beers you couldn't convince to run to a pole head.
or steal a road sign or jump off something. All in jeans and boots, of course.
Throw beer bottles at road signs, driving down the road at top speed.
Yep. Shoot animals from the back of a moving truck. All that. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna burn another willpower for this.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
That's right. I had never really used a lot, so I'm going to burn it up now. So that means I'm rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. So I'm doing 8 dice.
Ooh. Big and go home.
Going big.
No whammies.
All right, 1. And then 3 more. Come on. Oh, 1's on the floor. Ooh, okay. That'd be a 4, sir.
Okay, that's cool. That is
Ram your head to a wall.
Permanent brain damage.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to say that. Pretty much what there's an AC unit up there, and you just pretty much you're looking back and forth, and you manage to tough through just enough, and you essentially dive headfirst into it. And
before that, I go, fuck, gotta do it myself.
So, roll strength and athletics +4 for the successes you got.
Okay. This is like watching a small child fall over.
Okay, strength and athletics. All right, none in athletics, strength 2, so that's 6. That's 1. That's 1 success.
All that and just 1 success. Okay.
I should have burned another willpower.
Truth is, the way the rules are officially written is you have to declare spending willpower before you do it. But if you want to do it,
right.
I'll let it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely going to take advantage of that.
Because I'm enjoying
another
the idea
willpower,
of
do 3 more die.
I'm enjoying the vision of a possessed man bashing his head into an air conditioned unit.
Oh, okay, that's one more success, and all right, so that's 1 more additional success.
How many successes was that? That sounded like a robot.
That was 2. That was 2.
2 additional successes?
Yeah. No, sorry, 2 total. Sorry, 2 total.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You may, it's enough to get a gash. But that being said, you're still conscious. you're halfway there to whittling your skull away. Jacob, it is up to you, man.
Oh God.
Pressure.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna follow through what I tried to do before and just try and knock him out.
Curb stomp it.
You know.
No.
I guess just come up behind him and just give him a blow to like the back of the head.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go punch your friend.
Yep. All right, let's see. So strength.
Up there he is. Thought we lost Jeb there.
Sorry.
Oof, barely. 1 success.
Okay. Jeb, I mean, it's a really sad sight, in all honesty, between him punching you in the fucking face and you bashing your head into an air conditioning unit. Like, if someone had just stumbled upon this on the street and there wasn't blood and bone raining, they'd think there'd be an interesting story behind all this.
Well, there indeed is.
The good news is, at this point, any and all things that you or the spirit does is at a -1 modifier.
Okay.
Beryl, unfortunately, the way this is set up is you're still cowering there.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Josiah, though, he doesn't like. He sees what's going on, and he is going to. He's going to shoot at Jacob again.
Good Lord.
That being said, the good news is he's running out of ammo.
Yeah, well, great. Yeah.
The bad news is he's running out of ammo onto you.
About to say, I could get shot just 2 more times instead of 3.
Okay, let's see. Man, again, the blood is in his eyes. He can't see. He's not used to having a mortal body. The bullet just whizzes by you. And he screams in anger. Peter, it's slippery. It's gross. It's terrifying.
Anyway, enough about how I look normal.
Quit it.
You could make it. But it is going to take another stamina and athletics roll. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, yeah. I'll go. I'm already.
That willpower?
I'm
Now's the time.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, that's another 4 roll for me. I'll use another willpower. Derp.
Right.
So without kitty inspiration, that's only 7 this time. That's 2 critical, 2 successes. Let me reroll these. So that's 4 so far. That's 5 successes.
Shit.
Well, that is an exceptional success, which I'm going to do something interesting. You were
I climbed up and rammed my own body onto the lightning rod.
Yes. You cover yourself in aluminum foil as you go.
I'll fry green tomatoes.
Nice.
Good.
No, that being said, because it's an exceptional success, I'm going to say that I'm going to give you a chance to make another roll. You're there. However, in order to get it affixed properly, you're going to have to roll dexterity and crafts. And you've already used your willpower for this turn.
Okay. So dexterity and crafts. All right, so here's where I have to ask you a question as a game master. According to what I have, if I have like nothing in something that's mental, it's a -3 for unskilled.
Mm-hmm.
That means I have to roll just 1 dice. That would negate my 2, and that would negate my 3 dexterity.
So that brings it down to a 0?
Yeah.
Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to put you on what's known as a chance die. You roll a single die, but you only succeed on a 10. Now, that being said, that 10 explodes, just like all other 10s. But, again, you have just as equal a chance of succeeding as you do botching. And, yeah.
All right.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
For the record, this is my dice box. Can y'all see it?
No.
Yep.
Corner. That's my
Pull it down a bit more.
Oh my gosh.
That's my 10 right there. That's what I rolled.
Really?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I don't want to be called a liar. I don't.
Hell
want to
yeah,
be
brother.
a dice faker. All my dice are on one side. I didn't roll. The one I rolled was on there.
God damn.
Really hot tonight.
I got you 10, bro.
Okay. You throw yourself away from the lightning rod as soon as you have the watch tied on, and just in time too. Lightning courses through the iron, and an ear-shattering clap of thunder knocks you all on your asses. Everything slows to a crawl. You see quite clearly the lightning splintering along the chain of the pocket watch, the metal bubbling and melting. The face explodes in tiny shards of glass. Gears rain from the watch, themselves bending and melting from the superheated force of the electricity tearing through them. Josiah Hill pretty much forcibly crawls out of Jeb's mouth. Screaming in agony, burning the entire time. Jeb, you are fine, but Josiah, I mean, other than, just fucking weirded the hell out. But Josiah is, screaming in a mixture of agony and rage. But then as you watch, the smoldering ruins of his body darkens and starts to discorporate. He continues to scream, and he just starts to fade, and the rain begins to stop, and the stars begin to fill back through the sky.
Boy,
Are
all
we
right.
covered in blood?
Oh, yeah, I'm hacking right now.
I'm gonna go over to Beryl and check on her, see, kind of like make sure she's aware that
I imagine.
Her eyes are solid white, and she says, "There is no Beryl.
God.
Brown 2. No, you guys were drenched in blood, but that too just seems to disappear. Like, I mean, you were literally drenched, like, hair hanging down in strings, but that just seems to have just faded away as if it never happened.
What about my own blood I'm covered in from my head wound?
Here's the thing. Any wounds that you guys have had, like, I mean, you still hurt, but, it doesn't, like, outside of maybe like a little bit of bruising, like any kind of like breaking of the skin you might have had. It's not really there. That being said, in the case of people who have suffered, maybe a gunshot wound, it still really hurts. Like, it clearly hit bone. You would say that, but I mean, the skin's not broken, but I mean, if you don't get that treated, it could be kind of bad.
It's like, can I go to a hospital or like
I certainly won't stop you, but yeah, you guys are on the roof. It's night. You look at your phones. It's about 7:30 p.m.
Jesus. Yo,
well,
everyone okay?
Yeah.
Peter's just laying on his back, and he just gives a thumbs up.
Peter, that was all you, brother. That was all you. I mean, I was a little. I saw, even though I was possessed, I saw what you're doing, and I doubted you. I'll be honest, but man, you pulled through. I mean, God bless you.
His thumbs up just falls back down.
Are we sure that's it? That's definitely it, right? No more weird shit?
I'd say we go back down to Jeb's and check on your dad, Jeb, see how everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've had some crazy nights and had some pretty bad, hangovers and throw-ups from drinking, but I've never thrown up something that bad before. That was Jesus. Oh my, holy crap.
When you get down to your apartment, Jeb, pretty much everyone, it's the same thing. Everybody that is down there, they're huddled together. Frank meets you guys at the door, and he says, the rain stopped. Is everything okay?
I think it's over, Dad. I think it's over.
You can see stars now. Just point to the window.
Shortly after he looks out, you enjoyed just a brief moment of quiet, and then you start to hear screams and crying all through the apartment complex.
Oh,
Yes, apparently all the people who were possessed who weren't cured, they've done some fairly bad things to their loved ones and such. And loved ones who had to fend them off ended up having to do some fairly bad things. The cops would later call it some kind of gas leak.
Really?
So, okay.
Trope. Well.
But yeah, the cops would say, like, I mean, no one really seems to have any like collaborating story. That being said, when the cops interview you, what do you guys tell them?
I think Jeb, being a loyalist, would pull his new companions aside and try to kind of figure out kind of what to tell anyone.
You're the expert here.
Right.
You can tell them the truth and the fact that everyone just started going crazy all of a sudden. Which is true.
Yeah, it's true. I guess we don't have to tell them about the supernatural because they're not going to believe that. I mean, that's all. It's all.
We did kind of think it might be meth heads at first, right? So.
I guess we could go with that.
Are we all giving our own individual interviews, Chase?
I mean, if you guys want to collaborate before you do that necessarily, I mean, we can absolutely do a what you guys end up saying to the press kind of thing, or to the interrogators.
I'm not talking to the press. I don't do that.
That being said, I mean, it is a very dire situation because even with a gas leak, the mysterious man up top, seems to have disappeared, and an ancient old man's body was found with weird religious cultish symbols carved all over the apartment.
Somebody really, really high on some bad shit.
All Peter says is that he believes the person that lived on the 4th floor knocked on his door. Peter opened it. The guy punched him square in the face and then left.
And then Jed's response is just some things are too strange to talk about.
Okay. Quick question. We're going to jump forward a little bit in time, long enough for everybody's wounds to heal. Jacob, you end up going to the hospital. It's a small fracture in your shoulder, where the bullet that kind of sort of didn't exist. Yeah, that's the thing. No entry wounds, no rounds found in you. Any rounds you guys fired were gone though. Pretty much. Just a small fracture. After a couple of weeks, they're just like, you're pretty much good. You just kind of had to lay off of it. You guys are completely healed up. Are you guys going to stay in the apartment? Like, it still stays open. It's obviously changed ownership from the Sullivan estate.
I mean, I have all my stuff here. It's close to where I work, so there's no reason for me to leave.
Peter sold his house and has to live there, so all his stuff was not really unpacked. So I mean, he's still there.
Yeah, Jeb, being semi-familiar with like occultish, freaky stuff, at least the folklore of it, like, was a little whipped out. But it's not his like first time hearing about something like this crazy. So he's not too phased, and it's what he can afford.
That's the main sort of piece of my calculation is like, can Beryl afford to go and get another apartment? Because I feel like if she could, then she probably would try to, because this is a lot of fucked up shit. But also, she's trying to pay off student loans, and you can't write those off. So she might not be able to afford to, but she's probably not sleeping great.
Well, the good news is because of roughly 20 corpses being found after a night, the rent is suddenly a lot cheaper, so that's good. That being said, between all of you guys, like, you all know what you saw. Brandon and even Ben, like, when you guys kind of see each other, on the way into the apartments, into the apartments and stuff, like, you tend to have that kind of knowing glance. Jeb, you and your dad don't really talk all that much about it. Not necessarily anything bad, but you kind of get the feeling that Frank doesn't want to talk about it in front of your mom. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave it.
Quick continuity question, Chase. What happened to the fetishes that we had, like my shrunken head and the mummy hand? Did those just disappear, or do we still have them?
No, you still have them.
Excellent.
Whether or not they're going to be any good against anything else, I mean, that's something you'll have to figure out yourself.
Keep it for posterity's sake.
I'm probably going to be wearing that shit around my wrist all the time.
Weeks later, addendum to Peter.
Sure, what's that?
Like a couple of weeks later, Peter's at the Skunk Ape Migration, his museum of the Cryptonomica and logical and weird. He's put a display up, kind of not near the front, but near the back. It's just a small display. On one stand is a mummified hand that's like reached out. On the other is a very soiled Whataburger wrapper.
Oh God!
Yes.
And the camera pans towards his office where he's hunched over a desk. You see that he has drawn a picture of a deer standing on its hind hooves holding a salt block, and it just says "Skinwalker?" ?
Yes, perfect.
That's beautiful.
So good.
Yeah, make me want Whataburger again.
Dag nabbit.
Well, so that was the first campaign of Hunter of the Vigil.
Beautiful. Yeah, I seriously thought there's gonna be some like death or some like serious injuries. I mean,
there were the dead.
And I mean,
right.
We all got beat up, and Beryl really suffered psychological damage.
Yeah, Beryl, you went through the ringer. Yeah, you went through the ringer about just emotionally and psychologically.
Column in the middle there, but
yeah.
And make no mistake, I did not pull punches, but I did let the dice fall where they may. Don't take this the wrong way, Tyler, but when I realized, you know what, I'm going to possess Jeb, I was like, Jacob's got to die. He's going to get shot to death.
God.
You got roll it, man.
Oh god. Yeah, after I decided to run myself into a wall, I was like, I should have thrown the gun. I should have tried to do that rather than like, bash. I thought it was such a foolproof method though. I was like, I'm just gonna run my face into a wall. It'll work.
Jim's not the brightest bulb on Broadway. That sort of makes sense, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, mental is his worst attribute.
I don't know how y'all were picturing him, but I literally pictured him looking right at Jacob, just be like, "Oh!" and like.
Yeah. So, like we've all seen people run like that. And then boots and jeans.
So, outside of if you achieved any of your aspirations. Not only do you get, or in any kind of beats that you got just through the game, not only do you get a beat for finishing another session tonight, but you also get a beat for finishing a campaign.
Yeah.
Let's see. To protect my cat, check, and flip off the ghost wizard when I saw him, double check.
Survived.
And I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'll do a little bit of talking off the grid, let you guys know what's going to happen next.